Hello. Welcome to the Sunday meditations at the Sanctuary of Light and the Light Institute of Galisteo. We have a way that we do our meditations together. We divide the meditation into 3 parts. In the first part, we ask our higher self, which is our inner voice, the intuitive essence of the soul, to take a form for us so that our consciousness can relate to that energy, whatever form it is. It could be a light, a being, an animal, a tree, whatever it is. And then we ask our higher self to touch our body where we hold our divine essence so that we are bringing that energy into us. We bring it in and we sit in meditation. After I've spoken that part, I'll say Om. And that Om allows you to push the pause button so that you can actually do the meditation. And then the second part is the practice of the radiance of light, in which we imagine that we're drawing white light from the cosmos down through the top of our head and laser that white light out, stretching out our auric field and back into the cosmos. And we do that several times and we sit in meditation feeling that light passing through us and radiating out. This allows us to expand the vibration of our true selves, our presence, and our purpose into the world. Again, an Om, push the pause button, and be in that part of the meditation. In the third part of the meditation, we have a situation or a place on the planet that we focus on. This helps us to see that through our meditations, through our deep focus of self, we can contribute to the world. And what we're going to do this week, because there's so many cyclones and earthquakes and rain and drought and plagues and all of that going on, that we're going to, each of us ask, shall I focus on a hurricane? Shall I focus on the lack of rain? Whatever aspect of that's going on in nature you focus on, we will extend light to that so that it comes into balance. We never want to stop nature, whether it's erupting or it's blowing or whatever it's doing. We simply want to bring ourselves into a harmonic energy relationship with that. And that we can do by using these exercises in consciousness. So let's begin our meditation. And remember that meditation is life, and life is meditation. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath into your body and breathe out slowly. Ask your higher self to take a form for you. It could be a light, a being, a tree, whatever form comes into your consciousness at this moment. And to ask your higher self to touch your body so that your body, your third dimensional self, can align to those cosmic divine frequencies. And feel that touch wherever you imagine it, that you're being touched by this intuitive essence of your soul, your higher self. And now breathe into that touch so that you're inviting it, so that you're awakening your body to the presence of that energy. And then as you take a deep breath, draw your higher self into that place where it was touching you, into your body, and imagine that you are now sitting in meditation with your higher self. Om. Now, imagine that you are drawing a beautiful beam of white light from the cosmos, magnetizing it to you. A funnel of light in through the top of your head, down into your stomach, your solar plexus chakra. And from there, beam that white light out. I like to beam it across the planet and back into the sky. into the cosmos from whence it came. Breathe deeply, draw the white light down, and laser it out, stretching, stretching, stretching your auric field. And now just continually draw that through you and out from you, and feel that effect as it passes through you and out into the world. Feel the perfection of that focus. And now take a deep breath into your body and ask your higher self to show you what aspect of the goings-on of nature is important for you to focus on at this moment through the power of your consciousness and the love of your heart. Could be areas of drought or areas of excess rain, hurricanes, volcanoes. Just let your higher self guide you to focus in any direction. And once you perceive what aspect of what's going on in nature is important for you to focus on at this moment, bring that aspect into your mind's eye. Maybe it's the wind or the moving of a cyclone or the rain, and ask it what frequency of light it needs from you, because all that exists is made of light. What color it needs from you to come into balance and harmony with all of life. Take the first color that comes into your consciousness, and again reach up into the cosmos and draw that color, that frequency, from the cosmos down through the top of your head and extend it out through your solar plexus to that situation in nature, to that aspect. And give it that frequency of light. And imagine the effect that maybe the rain becomes gentle, or the sun comes out, or a hurricane can turn and go back to sea. Just continue to send that light until you've experienced the shift, the change. Breathe deeply into your body and open your eyes. Thank you for joining us, all of you from around the world, in these meditations. Our consciousness makes a difference. And now we enter into the second part of our Sunday adventures together, which is called Knowings. And each Sunday we have questions from around the world. And so we'll begin with 3 today, and Allison will read me the questions that have come from around the world.
Chris, this question comes from Los Angeles, California. And she says, Dear Chris, we're in the middle of riots here in LA. Will you please give some advice as to what we can do to help the situation?
Of course, those riots are right on schedule in terms of the evolution of this time on our planet. And so for some of you, it may be the necessity to stand with others that have experienced lack of justice and honoring, so that whether those riots are in the United States, Los Angeles, or Germany, or South America, or Asia, it makes no difference where they are. We as humans are saying, that's all. We are not that. And so we want to hold that. And again, for some of you, it might be taking your body out there and participating. And hopefully you will participate by using your consciousness to extend light that those riots are peaceful. That it is ourselves together standing Something happened recently that was very beautiful, where a certain group of people everyone of different races, of different backgrounds, were standing up against police brutality. And then another group of people stood in front and said, we will protect our friends. We will protect those who have not received the energies that they need to receive, the respect from law and order, the protection that belongs to them. And so I love to hear about these kinds of things because they show that we're getting the idea that what happens to you happens to me, and we will stand together so that we go into the future as a different kind of being, humanity on a different and higher level. And so you can also use your consciousness to extend light to a situation from your home. And that's simply bringing, as we did in meditation, bringing the situation into your mind's eye and then asking what frequency of light will bring it into balance so that the riot is successful, that we make our voices heard, but we do so without allowing any outside disturbance, any negativity that just continues the problem. And then whatever color comes to you, draw that color from the cosmos down through the top of your head and laser it out to the situation. And it's amazing how powerful that is. I feel that if all of us were to do that exercise in consciousness, we would be able to influence that as we all stand for changes that must be made, that we do so from a level of dignity, from a higher level of consciousness, not violence, not destruction. Great love to you. Allison.
The next question is from Germany. Chris, first we're in a pandemic, and now I'm seeing on the internet that there are weird plagues happening that are a bit biblical. Really? What do you think is going on with all of this? Do you think the world is coming to an end?
I think it's important to think about history, that not only have those plagues been prophesized, but they have occurred through the thousands and thousands of years of human existence. And so churches and governing bodies have played on those situations to create fear in people and say, it's your fault because you didn't do this, because you did that. Then you are being punished. And that is a very primordial concept that it is time for us to release on this planet. Yes, there are plagues going on, but it's not because some god or something is punishing us. There is cause and effect. We are participating because of global warming. And so plague of grasshoppers and this and that are occurring around the planet because there is a very sudden shift in the atmosphere. And again, when one thing happens on one level, everything is connected to everything. And so it disturbs the oceans, it disturbs the carbon dioxide, it disturbs the air, and allows these plague-like energies to take the fore. What's very important is to realize that there is that cause and effect, which we call karma, which can be positive as well as negative. So we want to put our energy into that, no, and yes, this is the end. Not the end of life, not the end of us, but the end of a way of life. An end to danger through fear and violence, and into unconscious levels of survival, but rather a beginning, a dawning of humanity coming together and realizing that we can together find the answers. We can stop these plagues. We can come up with ways that we can change what is happening on this planet and correct the imbalances. And that's the beginning. And we have come, you and I, as one soul family, all 7 billion of us, to do exactly that. What's going on the planet is part of the purpose of our lives. And so let us meet that challenge. with that knowing that as soul beings, we have the answers within us, and they are coming up. Whether they're coming up because we challenge governments, or we come together to work with nature in harmony, however it is that you do it at this moment. Do it, we must, together. And hold in your consciousness. This is the beginning. This is why we're here. And it will bring us to a higher octave very quickly. Great love. Allison.
And the last question comes from Australia. Dearest Chris, I feel a profound presence of support from ethereal energies here in Australia. Spirits, angels, I don't know exactly what to call this, but the presence is so palpable, it just embraces and strengthens me. Do you think we are truly being helped and sustained by cosmic beings during this time on the planet?
Of course. Do we really think that we are the only species, the highest octave of life, either on this planet, in our solar system, our galaxy, our universe, across the universes? But of course not. Of course not. And it's important to realize that there have been beings living amongst us in human form and in visible forms and in astral forms from the dawn of time. And because of what's happening, because we are here at this time and we are a part, again, remember that humans have angelic DNA and galactic DNA because we're part of a galaxy, and devic DNA because we come through our genetic encoding through the evolution of nature. And so we have access to these energies that we might call, for example, the angels a cousin species. And so there are all kinds of beings that live within the earth, around the earth, in the atmosphere, coming from other areas, from other dimensions, who are observing and helping us, whispering to us. So we want to be able to allow ourselves that possibility. And I think it's very important to realize that there is a law on this, in this world in which we live. It's an angelic law. It's a law of permission. And what that means is non-interference. The angels have brought about that necessity through their own evolution. And we are still learning. We don't practice it ourselves, that law of permission and non-interference. But it is there within the ethers. So you may not see the influence of other beings, but know that they are there. And the more that you use your consciousness to call forth, not to fix it for us, but to join us, to create that spin point that allows us to access other levels of intelligence, other levels of cosmic holographic consciousness that could very quickly bring about solutions to those things that are happening. We are not alone here. We are loved. We are protected. But we ourselves must go from that primordial level of survival, the survival of the fittest, my life, no matter what, to a level that says, we are here. What is the purpose of our lives? Let us contribute. And the more that we lift our consciousness to those levels, the more we will be able to actually access relationships that we have accrued throughout the millennia, and bring them to the fore in ways that are in harmony and balance with our own evolution, which of course includes the awareness, the consciousness of these beings. And so look for it, call it forth, magnetize it to you and to our world. It's happening now. Great love.